It's a rainy day, a rainy Tuesday, but we back at it with the car talks. Today I want to talk about, don't be afraid to work on your properties. So I got this advice from a mentor of ours who owns like 800 rentals, and he was like, don't get afraid to get your hands dirty. And at first we weren't really thinking about that. We were just focused on like finding deals and stuff like that, me and Skylar. But there came a point where it's like, all right, like we took that advice into consideration. Like, all right, at this point in time, we don't have enough money. Like, this was probably like a year ago, and I honestly, like, we still to this day will do some work ourselves to save some money. Not because we know that time is money for sure. Like, we could definitely hire sometimes the job out and have subcontractors and stuff like that, but sometimes money gets tight and you have to do the job yourself. Like when it snowed last month, we were out there shoveling all our properties, and we're not afraid. Get up early, go shovel and stuff. We're not about to pay somebody $100 when we can use that $100 for marketing costs and stuff. So yes, time is money, but also when you're new in the beginning and you need to save that money to allocate towards marketing costs, towards your cold callers, towards your CRM, whatever the case may be, you got to do what you got to do. So, that was, a case we had to deal with, just shoveling, and then Skylar will mow the lawn. So we, save money with that. Another thing we do is also in regards to a property we dealt with in Lancaster. We actually went and we did an ovation, and we literally, like, we agreed on the price with the seller at $190. And then once we agreed, we told her we're going to do this work to the property. At that time, this was our second deal. We literally had no money at all. So what we had to do was we had to go in, we had to put the work in. So I was in there painting, Skylar was in there putting in flooring in the sunroom, all this stuff, like, and then they went on vacation. So this was during the summertime. So I was just in there. I was over there cutting down a tree with this small like a saw we had. I was like, all right, I know if I cut down this darn tree that it's gonna bring in more natural lighting for the property. So I was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I was out there struggling to cut down that tree, but I knew that it would help the property sell at the end of the day. Outside painting the shutters, 90 degrees outside, super hot. And now there's some things like in the bathroom. We had the bathtub epoxied, so it looked brand new. We are not expertise with epoxy, so we did hire that out, which it was like $600. And then also the flooring in the kitchen, Skylar had a friend of his that came out and he did it for a super cheap price. We got a really good quality flooring, but the things that we could do, like paint, just different stuff like that, like adding new electrical not panels, but like outlet covers, little things like that. We're like, nah, we can get this done. Landscaping, we can do that. And we saved money, and that literally was our highest payday, I believe, of like $39,000. So we're using that money to, allocate to just scaling our business even more. But I just say that to say, like, don't be afraid to go in, paint, do some landscaping. Ask the fam, to come out. Ask your friends to come out to help you, with work on things. Because in the beginning, it's going to be tough. You got to start to build that momentum. Take the weekends. And what else our mentor told us was, what you can do is like, okay, during the day, you wake up during the day, get all your cold calling done, get all your follow-ups done, get all your emails done, appointments done, whether that's from like 9 to 5 if you schedule it like that. And then anytime after 5, delegate that time to working on your properties. You could be painting, you could be, like I said, like whatever the property may be. And then just things you can't do, if it's a roof issue or whatever the case may be, just get a subcontractor and get, I would say, a minimum of 3 quotes. Just don't go with the first person, because you never know if you're getting screwed. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about, and I think I pretty much broke it all down. But yeah, just don't be afraid of saving money in the beginning, doing what you need to do, because it's going to help you in the long run, and you're going to be, happy that you did. And there's another thing, so let me talk about this too. Lastly, is property managers. So Skylar and I, we're right now at 13 doors, and the nice thing about our properties is they're all within our area. They're not far from us at all. So if God forbid there's a problem, a tenant needs us or whatever the case may be, we're there in a heartbeat, or we can have our contractor come out, whatever the case may be, we're cool. Just because it's not far. There's investors that like to invest out of state, which is fine. If you're investing out of state, definitely get property managers. But in our case, we like it, like, for us to self-manage, just because number one, it saves us money of that property management fee, since they typically like to take 8 to 10%, whatever their fees may be. And that's a huge chunk just from your cash flow, because a lot of investors like to see an average cash flow of like minimum of $200 a door, but we want to see an even higher cash flow for our properties, for each unit individually, especially like for our 2 units. Like, we want to see an even higher cash flow for those. And then for people that do single family, you want to make sure you're getting an even higher enough cash flow for that. But yeah, just saving off of self-managing, that's huge as well. Like, we're just putting in the work. We have the connections to be able to, have our contractor come out if need be. But yeah, that's something to think about as well. It is a whole nother job in itself, but if you manage your day and you time block and you have things, all set in place, then it's gonna be easier. You're able to save money. Now, there's gonna be a point where we reach over 50 units, 100 units, so on and so forth. And I think when it gets to that point, I feel like we can manage at 50 and maybe a little over 50, but once it gets to 100 or so, we may like have our own in-house, but we're not 100% sure just yet. But once it gets to a certain point where we may not be able to handle, then it's like, all right, it's time to delegate this or hire a full-on team surrounded around this. But we're not at that point yet. We could be at that point by the end of the year, who knows? Stay tuned. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm just excited to grow and just learn. I'm constantly learning every day, and that's the game of real estate. I know a lot of new people watch my stuff, and you just constantly want to be learning. Make sure you're reading, make sure you're watching YouTube videos, make sure you're going to all the meetups. That's gonna help you. You got to be talking to these people 24/7. They say, I read in the book, it was talking about a book today I was reading, the birds that flock together, or I don't know, it was something related to that, which it's a saying a lot of people say, but basically it's like who you're around, it's like who you become, right? And that's so true. So I'm making sure I'm around high-level individuals, people that are way ahead of me, because I want to learn from them and then become that high individual. So I hope this video helped you guys save your money, build the momentum, scale your business, and with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.